Greetings, fellow adventurers and storytellers, and welcome back to Fail with Hope. We are excited to be playing the beta version of Daggerheart as we continue to tell our story all the way up to episode 22. Can you believe it?
No.
No, not at all.
Sometimes.
Through these 22 episodes, our group, Hi-jinx by Jax, have been discovering secrets kept by those of power within the kingdom of Tarkon and the convocation of mages who oversee the use of arcane magic in the lands. A recent Shiner threat in Myr'ahti has sent our group to this location, the homeland of Sunni, where they hope to confirm, which they pretty much have, that there is another rift here in Myr'ahti, and to deal with it however they can, and more importantly, deal with the many shiners, not Shriners. It's a whole different game.
The little hat.
Yeah, these little cars. Deal with the shiners that are threatening the Myr'ahti people. Upon arriving at the city of Og, the eastern city of Myr'ahti, you discovered a large dragon had taken up residence in the upper city, claiming this domain for himself, in which you carefully crept by, sneaking past without rousing the sleeping dragon, and entering the lower city of Og, the much more modern, technologically advanced section of the city, where resources and knowledge from the worlds beyond could be used to advance the civilization of Myr'ahti. And upon meeting with the remaining makers of the city and discussing with them the issues that Myr'ahti is currently plagued with, you spoke with Elder Yama about the book that had been recovered from the Briarwood, about the dangers that might be stemming from such books out in the world and being used to create these rifts. Elder Yama told you a tale of an elven lass, not a girl, but not quite a woman, a young adult, who had been fleeing some danger centuries ago and offered or seeking refuge in Myr'ahti. Apparently, the Myr'ahti granted refuge, and over time this refugee became one of them, basically. Studying, working, and living with them until eventually she felt secure enough to leave Myr'ahti and asked for a single gift in her party. A book that was granted to her that, according to Elder Yama, was all but useless, a failed attempt at creating one of these worlds. The book contained a world that was inhospitable, devoid of any life, and incapable of being traveled into. And so this elven lass was allowed to leave with the book. Elder Yama believes that the book you brought to her was some sort of copy, forgery, duplication of that original book.
The book that was used to open the Shiner Hole in the Briarwood.
Leading to some interesting implications. You did get confirmation that this elven woman was named Karis, which did lead to connections with the first wizard,
The first
literal
wizard.
first wizard, the first practitioner of arcane magic, Karis Valda, grandmother to Emrys, the current High Magister and First Wizard to the Kingdom of Tarkon. Taking this information, the Myr'ahti seemed set to remain where they were. Not really much choice in leaving, as there was a dragon at their front door that they couldn't get past. But comfortable in the knowledge that any resources they needed were at hand through the Depository of Worlds, the many books that could take them to other places. And there was even talk among the makers of retreating into one of these worlds and leaving the problems of this world behind. A notion, Suni, that you found a bit odd. It's always kind of been a last defense escape plan, but a very last defense, like apocalypse level, this world is fucked, we gotta go. The fact that they're looking to this alternative already seemed a bit odd to you, as if they were giving up hope too quickly. But with your arrival, they seemed slightly emboldened and encouraged that this group from the kingdom was willing to head out into the desert and see what they could do about this problem, this new rift, which Yvain was confirming the whole time that yes, it is pointing somewhere here in Myr'ahti. After concluding your conversation with the makers, you went off to explore the library and rest, recover from your journey here to enjoy the relative safety of the lower city of Og. And Suni took all of you on a journey into one of the books. In fact, the first book she had successfully scribed in the world of cowls. Cats with owl faces. And that was pretty much the whole world. Where picnics could be had, and friendly cats were eager to play and be cuddled in all manner of fashions.
Did the cowls have cat ears? Or owl ears?
I think it's owl ears.
Okay. Just needed to know that.
Can they turn their heads the full all the way around? Yes, this would confirm.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
They'll sit
And still land on their feet.
They'll watch like the window, and as you move, they'll just like rotate their head. And you enter the door, they're still rotating.
Oh my god. Now I have this image of a cat falling from a tree and just like flipping through the air, but the head is still just like
gyroscopically stabilized.
And then it lands on its feet. Sorry.
With this journey concluded, you all returned back to the prime material world, the world in which you all inhabited, and had the rest of the evening and the night to rest and recover here in Og. Suni, you were also approached by a fellow traveler, an author, who, having overheard your conversation with the elder, seemed encouraged that these books being Myr'ahti creations, it was in some ways a Myr'ahti responsibility to deal with them, and suggested that a Myr'ahti author might be able to do something about one of these rifts with the book present that created it. And that's pretty much where we left off. Yvain has recovered from his sore throat to okay, and immediately passes it on to Jax, who unfortunately, audience at home, Courtney is a little sick this week, so she's unable to join us as she's lost her voice. So she will be taking a back seat for a little bit as the rest of you continue with your journey into the deserts of Myr'ahti. Having returned from the world of cowls, a few of you brought some hitchhikers back with you. Tulok, please describe to me the cowl that came back from the world beyond with you.
Yeah. So it has like a black mask over its eyes. You know, it is like a calico cat, like a black, brown, white calico cat. its feet are all white. It has white socks.
What's the color of its beak?
I was just thinking, are there blues? Like, are there weird colors?
Okay.
I think it has a blue beak. Why not? They're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those like extremely cuddly cats. Like it's got to be in your lap at all times.
One of mine is like that.
Yeah. They just need attention all the time.
And it is just kind of perched on your shoulders and rubbing its face around your head.
Which is like
It's nice at first.
Your hair.
But like, there's the beak.
It's just preen with a beak. It's very gentle.
But also, like, you have like scales and hair.
Yeah. It's fun.
Do they have cat tongues?
I feel
Inside
like we
their
did
owl
talk about the
faces?
sandpaper
I think they
tongue
are.
of the cat
Yeah.
of the cowls.
So maybe it's
So,
like cleaning, you know, in between your scales.
Because it can groom itself. It can groom other
fun.
animals.
I feel like I love that.
It just gets the long strands kind of caught in its like tongue and it's just like, what do I do with this? It's too long.
And it starts trying to like make a nest out of my hair.
With time having passed by while you were within this other world, soon you can kind of tell from the city. It's difficult for the rest of you being underground, but you can tell just kind of like by the pulse of the city and the shading of the lights that it is getting into the evening dinner time on this day. The lower city of Ob is somewhat deserted. Maybe only 10-15% of the population has remained behind. Others fled before the Shiner threat. Another oddity to you, Sumi, is it does, I mean, this lower city could house hundreds, thousands of Myr'ahti, and yet, in relative safety, and yet they fled.
Alright, we should probably get some food. So let's all come with me. We can go to restaurants and see if there are anyone still serving. I assume since there are people here, so come. And I lead you through the city to an area where it almost looks like a carriage that you would get onto, but it is extremely long and it's on like these rails that just like go off into a tunnel that like, so you can't really, it's obstructed. So she just like walks onto it and she just gestures you guys get on and the doors close and we just kind of shuttle basically to train and we just go through the city to where the restaurants are located.
Oh, you guys are very cool. I've never seen anything like this.
These much like sanctuaries, carriages without horses, but the infrastructure clearly much more developed.
I never really thought of it that way. Sanctuary seems so very cutting edge. But yes, just other carriages are very useful.
Does it have the stained glass in the carriages like it does in the buildings?
Sure.
I wonder what's going on outside.
What restaurant do you find open to bring your friends to?
We'll say that there's one that's actively cooking. They have the doors open, and like you can smell what they're making, and it smells like cookies, it's like a barbecue. And when we enter in, there's like some of the actual residents still there, and you basically sit down, and there's a little grill on the table, and you have different meats brought to you different vegetables and stuff, and you just like cook it and then you eat it.
Nice.
It's like little hibachi kind of.
And you can see the few Myr'ahti residents who are here getting a meal all very much look over as all of these outsiders come in.
Are we pretty much the only like non-Myr'ahti that we've seen?
You are definitely the only non-Myr'ahti you've seen.
Yeah.
Most assuredly. So they all kind of give this look and like are pretending not to look but keep glancing over, hoping that you don't sit at a table near them. And so you find a seat, and a Myr'ahti comes over with kind of server's apron on, carrying a little notebook, and you say, hello, how may we be of service?
What do you have to drink?
We have, of course, milk, warm, or cool, in saucer, or cold. Water, wine.
I'll just have water. It's pretty hot.
Very well. One water in a saucer, or glass.
Yeah. Oh, yes. A glass would be nice.
Perhaps if we could bring a pitcher of water and glasses for all of us, except for maybe
I
Susan.
taste
No, easy.
It's good. We can infuse it with different things. This is very good. We have crocodile.
Very well. We have some fresh. He takes your order of kind of what protein, what veggie you want, what sauces you want, and then shortly later, bowls are brought out with all the different foods in them for you to start grilling up yourself. And you can see the other Myr'ahti kind of setting up skewers to go over the grill, and some putting the meat on to sear the sides of it, and it gives an overwhelming fragrance to this restaurant. Usually you get the wafting from the kitchen usually, but now it's like the kitchen is at every table, so all the spices and smells are kind of wafting and mixing together, the sizzling of things on the grills as each of the Myr'ahti is preparing their foods.
This is very tasty. Very nice spice. Almost too hot, but not quite. That.
You could eat like this every day.
Although his yogurt dressing is very dipping. Yes.
Good app.
Forgive me if we have covered this and I am just forgetting for a moment here, but before I had seen one of your books in action, this had not occurred to me, but is this possible that world where shiners come from is world contained in book?
Yes, this is possible. It is my personal theory is that world that Archaeology comes from also shiners, and was probably the book that first wizard took.
But when Karisvalda took this book, it was book to nowhere.
Apparently so, which is interesting.
Yet it then went to, if this is true, then book now goes to a world of immense power and strange, almost random aspected beings.
Yes.
It was never a book to nowhere. It was the world that it went to was inhospitable, unlivable.
Yeah, I was sure your language on that, but yes.
Inhospitable, unlivable in what way?
Anyone that tried to go through died immediately.
But it is
As
similar
far as-
to what we have heard of people who have gone through rifts.
As far as they could tell, there was no life in it. And beyond using the books to enter the world, you could research the world as well using the books without entering. And yeah, it seemed a world devoid of life, just a barren, inhospitable landscape. So it wasn't a book to nowhere, just a very harsh place.
Was book to nowhere interesting?
do not know.
Now is book 2 most interesting place.
It would seem.
Can you just read one of the books and have it not open a portal, or when you're even just researching it, the portal open?
There is to a trained reader, there is a conscious effort to transition. And Suni had kind of coached you all through that process as the words hit your imagination and expanded, your imagination started to stretch into reality, and then the two swapped. And so trained scholars can read and not take that switch to just read these books in the same way of like when you're writing them, you can go back and read what you've written and continue on from it.
So you have to be good at it to not open a portal when you read it.
And again, it doesn't open a portal when you read it, it just, one minute you're here, next minute you're there.
Oh, so you really don't make a choice. So you can't read a book without going through it,
Unless
unless
know.
you're good at it.
That's why you always bring your little book to leave back home.
Right here. Can I keep this for like ever, just in case?
I mean, we have surplus now that most people are gone from city, so it's as far as I'm concerned.
Just in case you ever fall through a hole, you know?
Or go into my book one day.
Yeah. I'm excited to see your book someday.
Working on it.
These books to come home. They describe specific place. I imagine, otherwise Myr'ahti would be appearing on the thin air all over the world.
Yes, so these do go right to the depository, right, because we are a murder. But it can be tweaked slightly. So the one that I have taken for my journey, it will bring me back to relatively where I left, rather than all the way back home in the depository.
But say that perhaps you are make one of these books that is taken to sanctuary instead of well, is this possible?
I believe so. We would just need to really know about sanctuary to write about it.
Because what I think is there are all of these people here who are sort of prepped, and if they are could go into the world, come out in other place, this would be big help.
Would. Yeah. I would assume that they have not done such thing because we do not have intimate knowledge of the rest of the world to write it like that. And also, it would be perhaps somewhat of act of aggression to suddenly have all people pouring into sanctuary.
Does not have to be actually in sanctuary, but also I think under circumstances probably hiking would understand. Especially if we are, say, hello first wizard, maybe there are going to be several hundred Myr'ahti popping out of thin air in the middle of Central Park. In Sanctuary Central Park, of course.
Sanctuary even so are there many refugees?
You have been to Sanctuary.
That was why I am saying question. That is a lot of refugees.
They are not helpless people with nothing, with no skills. They are
This is
thoughtful,
true.
clever, hardworking.
But it is more about like how many houses are there? How much food sanctuary actually has?
There were still a lot of doors open.
That, I mean, it's a sanctuary. You can just knock on door, go sleep in somebody's house.
Well, I know, but they wouldn't leave the door open to welcome people into their home if they didn't have room for people to come into their home.
The bounties of sanctuary are freely available to citizens of the kingdom.
So perhaps logistics is a little bit above our pay grade, but it's possibility.
Well, it depends on what council is thinking now. All we can do is gather more knowledge for informed decision making.
Were all of the people that were fleeing Myr'ahti, they weren't from here in Oak, though? They were from
Some.
other places? Though they were
Some were
from here?
from here. Obviously, city is very empty right now. But there are small villages around on the island and also Cathro, other city. So, it would seem the Shiners wander far and wide before having this much of an exodus.
It seems strange that, you know, to escape or flee, I guess, Myr'ahti, they don't just read a different chapter of our world.
Well,
It is kind of what I was describing.
Oh.
it has to be tuned carefully. We can do here in the different cities, depositories, because we have intimate knowledge of Myr'ahti in these locations. But it is harder everywhere else.
Because they're not as detailed.
That is why my book, I can come back from where relatively I entered, but I do not have specific location. And if I were to guess, probably part of the provision in their agreement of Kingdom and Myr'ahti Council that we do not just have unlimited access to anywhere in the lower lands.
Yeah, I'm not
This
good pretending.
crocodile is much better like this than out there. That's scary.
I'm not gonna pretend like I follow along on this stuff in my face the whole time. I haven't made eye contact with any of you.
Oh yeah.
Shiners. Yup.
I mean, really, you met us like, what, 3 days ago? No, like a week ago now, because we took a long trip to get here.
What's happened?
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
wild ride.
Mm-hmm.
He has known Tulok for a number of years.
Yeah,
But does anybody really know Tulok?
it's true. I'm very covert, yeah.
Enigmatic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's tough to know the real Tulok, you know, because I'm such a good spy.
Even Tulok sometimes.
You have a very rough exterior.
Yeah. Damn my good looks. They really just turn people on. Oh man. Well, we should really put off that dragon though. Are we sneaking by that thing or what's the plan?
You kind of have to sneak by it. There's currently only one way in and out.
Right.
But yeah, I would rather sneak than fight if we're going to go to Shine Rumble.
Yeah.
Maybe if we are victorious on that.
No, well, council has, they have any information about, I don't know, like, best time of day to sneak past dragon or.
When it's sleeping.
That would be a good
Okay.
thing to ask.
It was sleeping on the way here.
Duh, of course I was
It's
there.
just gonna keep. I know. Yeah. We had. You were so helpful too in our sneaky incognito.
Couldn't have done it without
methods.
you.
I've never seen you move so fast.
Okay.
Well, it might be good to ask. See if anyone has used magic trying to see when dragon has movements, if people want to escape, who knows. It seemed like they were very much just, most of them not really knowing and hiding, but it would not hurt to ask. Especially if dragon came in and made cave-ins. Makes noise, so knowing the comings and goings generally might be a thing. I guess you could go back and ask, they're probably still talking.
And were we just like on our way to go sneak now?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about getting some food. I think maybe taking a long rest.
Like, Mogar does
Taking
look like
a-
maybe he is need a nap.
Well, we do stuff.
He Lou would just fell asleep
Face
in
down
his
with Ziggy.
You're just like blowing little bubbles in and it's
I
like,
just grab him. Okay. Grab him by the horns.
sometimes you
Flip
just gotta
around
take the,
down
sometimes
here.
you just gotta take the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
Stay down there where it's safe and safe and there's lots of food all the time.
Why'd you ever want to leave?
Which is a curious thing though. It's very safe down here still. At least it feels like that.
What did the council say about like how the shiners come to Obe? Or the, any dragon shiner fights?
You did not ask. You should. But it seems like down in the lower city it isn't. But that continues to be so.
I couldn't believe how offended they were when Suni pulled out the book that we found at the other Shiner. Well, just so you know, we called it a rift, but the very nice old lady, she called it a Shiner hole. So we had it right the whole time, just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were very offended by that book. That was a copy.
Well, just that it was desecrated.
As you were when you found.
Yeah.
I was pretty pissed off. I mean, we were all kind of angry at the moment, but it lingered. It lingered.
Where are we staying?
Given the vacancy of the lower city, wherever, pretty much anywhere you want.
Okay, let us go find an apartment. Kick down door, sleep there.
Well, not kicking,
Sorry.
but yes.
Open door.
Maybe there's like a
Polite.
secretary for the guard. We
Okay.
can ask them about the council. Maybe they have like a secretary who could tell us about the dragon. And then we don't have to disturb the council, and then she can also tell us where to sleep, so we don't have to just steal some lady's apartment while she's out getting groceries.
Pretty sure we would be able to tell if house was still being lived in or not. Not sure if they're keeping track of all vacancies, but we could ask. There's still time left in the day to at least ask questions about Dagger.
Yeah, that way we can just get a fresh start in the morning, right? Or we're gonna go back and see the council before we leave? Or they're just talking about other things?
What time of day is
Do
it?
not
Late evening.
Okay.
Post dinner time, as you just had dinner.
do
I
not-
thought maybe this was a big lunch. I don't know.
I do not know if we were going to speak to council again before we left, but they did say that we could have some provisions provided for the journey. So we probably should could find secretary. Someone with the paper.
Yeah, some person.
Okay.
Okay. So send you back to the subway train thing that I do not have a good name for.
Yeah, the underway.
Underway in the Undercity.
Going back towards the central district of Lower Obe, you once again see the kind of squat building amongst these towering cathedral-like structures of the Depository of Worlds. And you can see what seemed like the guard captain that was present at the council meeting is currently in front of the depository, speaking with a number of the remaining guards here in the city.
Wondering if we could ask questions about any knowledge on Dragon's comings and goings in general sense, so that we know where they exit.
He dismisses the guards he had been speaking with. He just says, Suni, yes. General Panther. And you can see, oh, excuse me, General Panther is a female with a very deep voice. She kind of clears her throat a little bit. You can see this dark-furred Myr'ahti, one of her ears actually missing, and you can see almost like a ring of scars around that part of her head as well. As she looks at you and looks back at the rest of you as well. And you definitely catch not quite like disdain or open hostility, but at the very least some mistrust when she looks at the rest of you, and even a little bit at Suni. And she just says, "They're a despot. Strange seems to spend much of time sleeping. Almost as only seems to go out to hunt when they absolutely must. I would thought a dragon of his size be more active, but he slumbers." Days, once a week, maybe.
Do you not suppose that we are close to one of these meetings?
I have not been keeping close tabs on his activities. Much of my time is concerned with convincing the others of what is best to do for the safety of the Myr'ahti.
What will do is best.
I think it is time to leave.
To leave to the kingdom alone, or leave the world alone?
The so-called High King will be eager to finish his conquest. And I see now with the might of the many princedoms behind him, the Myr'ahti stand no chance. After being ravaged by these shiners, if we can deal with this threat, it will only be a matter of time. This world is lost. The Myr'ahti should move on.
Would we not stand to lose our culture by entering another world? What if we cannot make our books there? It is already very careful process to make the ink for them.
Perhaps the books will become a lost art as well. But my duty is to the survival of the Myr'ahti, and I do not see that for survival here.
The High King waits upon Myr'ahti permission to enter, despite the lives that could be saved. The kingdom's only goal was conquest. There would be dragon defenders in their authority.
Perhaps they wait for us to be weakened.
I have bad news for you. It is already.
You can see her shoulders kind of slumping a little bit almost see kind of an internal debate as she seems to wrestle with a few thoughts. Before she says, yes, we are weak, and I have failed. This is why we should move on from this failure.
You may have probably heard that we want to go to the center of Myr'ahti and see what Shiloh is there, what is going on, if we can maybe stabilize it in some way.
I heard your discussion with the elder.
Who would you be willing to help means to be able to get there, and there will be obstacles along the way, friendships, shadows. If you can help us get to the center, maybe we can save our friends. We would be able to represent the kingdom.
And despite my recent failures, my duty is here. Until they see fit to replace me with one more capable, at least.
All of your men, all of your women, every single god concerning living here.
Those that are left. We must defend this place. We are protected, but even here the shiners have come.
From where
Well,
do they get in?
some of them tunnel through the earth. Some are not sure how they got here.
How do they know where? How do they know how to look?
Perhaps a better general than I would know these things. We were taken unaware. I should have known better. I should have done better. But I did not. And many were lost.
We do not know what we do not know.
I should have known.
All is not lost. We go to the rift to find anything that we can do to help the Myr'ahti people.
Please make a presence roll.
I don't think that's either one of our strengths.
I mean, I'll help you if I can.
What do you have?
Oh, open up.
I feel like I was really trying to help you on that. I have a +0. Do you feel like you
have hope. We can add experience this time with action, so do you have experience that would be good?
I think this would certainly qualify as a stick to the mission roll. But if you feel like you have one, that's a +3.
I don't know if gambler would necessarily fit in this context, and the other two don't really. So.
Are you
maybe
feeling
should-
lucky?
Aria, Ken.
This is a +3. Maybe it might be better, but I hope you.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
And I use it one help, right? That's how that works.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I use one help for experience.
Oh, look at that. How for you?
Lovely, thank you. Pretty good. That's a 30 with fear. And a 10 in a 12.
Again, you can kind of see when you kind of speak up, This, the general almost seems to kind of sneer a little bit, looking at this mage of the convocation. But your words combined with Suni's, you almost see she shakes her head for a moment and just says, yes, yes, I still have, despite the many that have escaped, there are still some here that I must protect. I must do better. I must keep these people safe for as long as I can. And if we cannot find a way to stop the Shiners from threatening us here in the lower city, then we must prepare to evacuate everyone. This is my purpose. And I will see it done. And you see the general almost seem to stand a little straighter, a sense of pride entering her posture again. But her ear, the one is still present, still kind of not perked up fully. Still a sense of defeat looming over her. And Suni, while maybe not personally familiar with General Panther, you certainly know her reputation. She's not only a leader of the military, but she is on the Council of Makers. And she didn't get that just because of her position. She got it because of her reputation and her competence. And that idea of who she was before you met her in person clashes very much with the woman you see in front of you now. That being said, in order to be prepared for whatever threats may come next, I do not have enough hands to spare on your mission.
But we will need provisions.
The Elder has said so, so they are being gathered.
The city is fortunate to still have defenders here. Keep the remaining people safe. If this rift, Briarwood rift, and any other rifts below really cannot be stabilized, then being so close to the books is probably the best place to be for the rest of the Myr'ahti people.
Perhaps it was only a matter of time before the infinite world that we opened up, one of them snapped back.
You see
Reality?
something that you know has happened? Where the Shiners come from is the world in the Myr'ahti people.
Well, I think she was in the council room, right? She was the, yeah, so she was that.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it was too.
If there is nothing else,
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Maybe there's a place that we could spend the night.
Yeah, do you know of an empty place? There are many, but
She looks around and says, almost everywhere is empty.
alright. Like you said, I think we can find a place that we would know that they have not been.
Okay. We will set out in the morning.
Good luck, you're going to need it.
Alright, well.
You head away from the depository and again see these kind of narrow streets lined with these tall cathedral-like structures filled with multicolored stained glass in almost every alcove and nook and cranny, giving this, making the buildings seem even taller than they probably are, given the narrowness of your view down these streets. Even in the cavern that they all reside within, under the desert sands above. And you do very much get the impression, despite the grandeur and the beauty of the architecture, there's a hollowness to this city. It's very desolate. Many of the windows above dark, with no light coming from within, kind of like empty eye sockets and a skull.
Did the guard captain agree to do anything for us, or did we just kind of like get them to like stop being such a sad sack?
Pretty much.
Okay. Just checking.
Missing Jax already, or I would have gotten a piece of like one hope to spend on one hope. Alright, well, this place looks good, right?
Yeah.
Head inside and find, inside, even more so than out in the streets, you can see discarded belongings kind of in the hallways and entryways, pieces of clothing and a set of silverware that was discarded as being not important enough to be taken with those that escaped, this place. And many of the doors left open in people's haste to leave, and kind of see the domiciles within, all kind of, things were just ripped and pulled off of shelves and out of cabinets, gathered up for people as they were leaving.
I'm going to pick up a very shiny necklace. The cutlery that they left on it. And just pocket that.
You have a shiny spoon. And coming into
It might come up later.
coming into one of these domiciles that seems empty and abandoned, you can see there are a number of what seem like rocks kind of embedded in the walls and rising up out of the floor with a large flat surface. And you can feel the air of the cavern that the lower city is in. It's kind of that consistent, cool, subterranean temperature, a stark contrast to the arid, hot desert up above. But these rocks that you can see in various places around all seem to be heated. In fact, the largest one you see with kind of this flat surface, you see a number of pillows and blankets strewn across it. Some of the ones that are kind of along the walls, you can see like a shelf of netting that is just above it, or a hammock that lays along the side of it. Places to cozy up where there is warmth, as cats are prone to do.
I call top bunk.
You hop up into one of the hammocks.
Big bench.
I feel like I'm cool with laying right on a hot rock.
I stress test a hammock.
It's
Give it a couple
certainly-
swings.
It's, you feel kind of like the rope stretching
Yup.
under the weight of your 7'12" frame.
It'll hold.
I feel like when I sleep, I like to lay on my shield so I can get that natural rocking motion as if I were like on water or
You don't
something.
get that just from laying on your shell.
No, because I sleep on my stomach because I'm a turtle.
Okay.
It'd be pretty difficult to get up if there was something emergent and I'm sleeping on my back. I'd have to ask for help.
Good to know.
You just like build momentum.
Do you pull your arms and legs in when you sleep? Yeah.
A little fetal turtle. Inside my shell, on a shell, with a shell. Magical.
Despite the vastness of this densely packed city, although not nearly as vast as a place like Sanctuary, it is still quite the urban environment underground here, and yet eerily quiet as you all settle in for the night, as the usual denizens and residents and noisemakers of the city have all left. So again, it kind of gives this hollow feeling to it. As you're kind of up in this structure, all settling in for a night's rest. It almost feels like you're alone here in this place, besides with each other.
Hey, Suni,
Yeah.
how are you feeling?
Tired?
Okay. I mean, I just know it's really different now than it was
Is this
when
like,
we left, right? Like, are you okay?
oh, this is an emotional check-in?
Yeah.
It's like 1 a.m. We're sitting here in the dark. and
We're
we're
just
like,
getting ready for bed, you know? Just, it's a long day.
It is disappointing to see the city in such a state. I am worried that we are going to be torn apart by the China, or even before we get to it. Yeah.
It wasn't like this when you left, though, right? I mean,
Oh no, it was proper functioning city.
yeah.
Very, very nice.
Thriving.
A lot more music everywhere.
Hmm.
People walking back and forth. Many more restaurant options. There is more hope. Even though I suppose you did not recognize it as such when you were constantly simply living in it. But when it is gone, you can tell that there is less of that. Somewhat depressing.
Well, I'm sorry that your home is so different now. And I hope that it can get better. I think it can. I think there's gotta be something that we can do about these shiners.
My
It's not us, someone else.
My focus is, and has been for a long time, to collect knowledge. If we can pull this off, if we can go to Rift and survive, hopefully there is knowledge to be gained there. The oil slick chick, I'm hoping we have information for us. Why she cannot contact, like, King or Myr'ahti Council. If we have to be the ones, more knowledge for us.
Knowledge may be the thing that saves Yeah,
We might save the whole world.
perhaps.
Had to happen.
Or perhaps we will get to where we think is rift and then it's just cookie.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Someone else solve problem. It would be great.
Maybe we should take cookies. Maybe the shiners like cookies. We just bait them and then set traps.
And then I do not have to have world on my shoulders to try to fix broken book while there is a big, huge rift and things trying to kill me. Very stressful thought.
I'm gonna fall asleep thinking of just shiners falling into nets with cookie bait tonight. I think.
That sounds delight.
That will give you happy dream.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to go use bathroom now. So bye.
Okay, good night.
Is there like a litter box or a situation or what?
No, there is a powder room, thank you.
I never thought of the bathroom situation.
That's so
funny,
funny,
'cause I was
litter
just-
box. If we do not have to have litter, that is disgusting. Also racist. Thank you, buddy.
As city leaders, I say, Devin, I don't know. Perhaps it is. I don't know. Self-cleaning litter box. It is very technologically sophisticated box that has like sifting mechanism, and perhaps there is always new litter. I don't know.
It's literally when you go in there later, it's basically that, but it looks different. Like it always provides fresh.
Later, when I use the bathroom, you just hear, okay.
This is a big cylinder that self-cleans itself
Yeah.
every time you exit.
I go in there and I close the door, and I get out the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I forgot my name.
Wow.
That's a me.
Bastion's
That's
name?
not Suni. That's
Oh my
me.
God.
That's a me problem.
One day apart, and you forget all about
I
her.
spent like a week.
I compartmentalize, and then it's just in there, and then it won't come out. Question. How do you do?
There's a long pause,
As she finishes her cookie.
and finally, a little bit groggily. Oh, Sweet?
Are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Apologies. We are about to go to bed. I just wanted to say hi. And Myr'ahti. Maybe one day I can show you this place. Just very nice. Are you safe?
I mean, we're in the Briarwood. There's a few of these jagged knives left. We've been tasked with hunting down some of them. Bacchus says the defenders are paying well for each band that we put an end to. Seems like the defenders are gathering up all the residents, getting a head count.
Are they still like drawing triangles into their foreheads?
I saw some of that.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I stabbed one right to his third eye.
Quick kill. Good job.
Brian, no, but
What was the thing? The big scary stuff. Oh my god, I forget all the names now. The thing that came out of the portal.
Oh,
It started with the
Galit?
Galit.
He's elite.
elite.
I don't really talk to him much.
That's right. But they would normally they were screaming when we were sneaking around.
Well, they scream.
Screaming words. Yeah. Alright, so you guys have not seen the rift yet?
No, but there's this place up on the cliff. The defenders don't let us go up there.
Okay. That's fair.
Sounds like with the amount of defenders in here, plus the rest of us mercenaries, should be wrapped up pretty quick. Maybe a month. And then Briarwood's part of the kingdom, I guess.
And there's no like people coming in and feeling angry. You have not felt angry? Like really deep-seated rage?
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
Yeah, but it's easy to like hold it in
Old
now.
girlfriend.
Punch people that you shouldn't punch.
I haven't noticed any of that. Dinah! You want to punch anybody? He said yeah, but he kind of always wants to punch things.
But does he want to punch a person that he cares about?
Do you want to punch me? He said yeah, but...
It's evil is still. It's really late at night right now.
I'm glad you're okay.
We're headed to the center of the island tomorrow.
Oh,
I do not know how long it will take for us to get to where we need to, or what I will find when we get there. Yeah. I will stay in touch.
okay.
Good night, Pastor.
Good night.
And I brush my teeth and I go to the bathroom.
No, you see, if it just turn over every. Oh, hey.
No.
Oh, good, it's my turn. I rushed
Moment of silence and then a nice big sigh.
Guys, there's nothing to wipe! It's just litter!
Use the litter!
Alright, you see that little like pot thing over there? You put water in it, it's fine, we'll figure it out.
I said that! I thought it was mouthwash.
Now I rip off some piece of my robe.
Taking your turns in the bathroom, doing your ablutions before you go to bed. You eventually all settle in upon your warm rocks. You do find it soothing and satisfying. It's this like constant heat radiating up. It's
I,
not-
Hudson, would hate.
Yeah.
It's not like hot. It's just like this warmth
Yeah.
on you.
I mean, it's
Cold
a cave.
pillows.
Chill cave.
Thank goodness.
Find another wall.
Oh, you Yvain likes it. I will not like it.
As you take a long rest, and I get to fear. I don't think you need to do any of your long rest. I mean, I guess you could do the prepare, but you should have
No.
full armor, full hit points. All that stuff has been cleared out in your travels, so you can choose other long rest activities.
I would love to prepare with somebody. Get some hope.
Yeah.
I only need one.
Do you?
But if I only need one, does that get you more?
Preparing with another party member, you get each take 2. So I mean, if we have a group conversation about
Dragon?
dragon and maps and things.
Shiners?
I would like to prepare as well with someone, but also I would like to work on Verlo's journal with you.
Okay. can we say that as a group we spent some time figuring out, like, I don't know, if we have maps and things, maybe.
I would have figured that there's a general understanding of Myr'ahti, and like, this is where you go, this is where you avoid, that's where all the wasps live, you know.
Oh yeah, you just run down all of the shit that's like gonna kill us in the outback.
Wasps.
Giant ones, yes, we avoid them.
Jumanji.
It was a very, like, obvious landmark to go. Can't miss.
We were in the like hibachi place, and Josh was describing like that we smell, it's cooking. I almost said, "Is the rock there? Do we smell what the rock is cooking?"
I also thought that.
Because that's like deep in my like preteen brain somewhere.
Yeah.
So we prepare. Anyone who wants to do that joins in.
Yeah, I want to work on a plan. I want to overthink some stuff.
Cool.
I'll carry all the stuff.
I'll carry the whole thing. And then we work on Gorilla's journal.
Yeah.
I fall asleep at that point.
So I took 2 hope.
I'm taking 1 hope. And I'm filled up and cleared out again. Back on the fiber.
How about Mogar? What's your hope at the moment?
It is full.
Full!
Yeah, I'm full of hope.
Boy.
I'm having a good time. I slept in this morning.
You hopeful, bro.
I got a pocket full of sunshine. I
probably want to communicate with Gubane about an idea for the dragon that I had in mind. So when Boots, if the dragon happens to be pretty far away, I can have an ally within close range of me. I mark a stress and boost off of them. You might be able to perform a spell and cast me off even further.
Yeah.
I could, no hurt.
It's pretty worth it. It's pretty worth it. I mean.
He's not, how you say, gentle push.
I wasn't expecting gentle push.
He's more, how you say, power push. But that, I could do this thing.
This will be fun.
Ooh, can I tag team with you guys?
You don't know.
Can you push me too? I have a belt that lets me do it.
Can we do big party move?
Yeah, it's like a party attack. It's 3 people can do something at the same time. Like my belt, it just makes me feel really connected. Or someone else could wear it, honestly.
I think we could do that, right? We could do a 3-person or a 4-person.
Yeah, the belt.
That's
Because of the belt.
Because of the belt. Okay, cool.
The belt puts a tag team up to 3.
Sweet.
Oh no, not full party then.
If no one is watching, then it doesn't count.
I have to spend 5 hope.
It's party mode.
5 hope to tag team with 3 PCs instead of 2.
That's cool though.
Oh wait, no. So then it was 3, including you.
Nope.
Ah,
3 instead of 2.
so dream to get 4.
More belts.
What if we got 1 more belt?
1 more belt.
And then,
Party move.
yeah, it's like 10 hope. I just
You
feel
try
like
to-
all of our hope is going to be sunk into that, you know?
But then
It'd be so worth it.
But I mean, then we're rolling 3 times and picking the top one and combining 3 damage
Yeah.
on 1 move.
It's a swift start or finish.
Ooh,
Correct.
ooh,
We work together, which is really
Or
just close it out.
Climactic middle.
oh.
Yeah.
But then all of our hope is wiped out in the middle.
No, I can give
No.
it back.
It's only
With
it's
a
only
nice compliment, you know? You
it's only
guys,
2 lots of.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel
Or
pretty
other
hopeful,
personal stuff.
especially when I see you guys do something really cool. You know?
Suni filling you all in on how to survive the many dangers and threats of the Myr'ahti deserts. Talking tactics, strategy, both about a possible dragon encounter above, as well as dealing with the rift present in the heart of Myr'ahti. You prepare yourselves for what is to come.
You heard that we were also working on Verlo's journal?
Mhm. Working on the journal. You can make a knowledge roll. Continue to track your progress that you've been making during this journey.
I think you have 4, I have 3, so.
I do. I will use my dedication that I always forget about. Knowledge is mastery. To use a D20. It's not
Oh, that's a good one to forget about.
Yeah. It's actually, it's not, I don't forget about it so often. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, and like my dedications are not super crafted towards anything useful. Like I just thought these would be more useful, so the opportunities that come up are a little bit limited, so I'm glad that I was like, oh, this is a thing.
You can always create your own opportunities.
I try, but you know, I do have to go with the thing I wrote down, you know. Or I can't always think of a way to apply it. I think about it often, but alright. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. That's a 23 with hope.
Need more things to bring with.
Oh yeah.
Continuing to decipher the research notes of Verlo, former mage of the convocation. And again, this particular research journal seems to be dedicated to the origins of arcane magic in the world. And after kind of going off on that tangent about the first wizard and her history of traveling to Myr'ahti long, long ago, many centuries ago, he comes back to research he's done of the time when arcane magic first started to appear in the world. And you can see among his notes cross-referencing of cited material and dates, and finding a similar timeline to the emergence of arcane magic and the emergence of shiners. It wasn't one-to-one, but it did seem to be within a couple of decades of arcane magic having appeared.
Arcane magic appeared first.
Yes. The Shiner attacks began. Started slow and then built up and became almost a nationwide threat before at that time, the different kingdoms started to get a handle on it, and eventually the newly united kingdom of Tarkon really dedicated a lot of resources to dealing with that Shiner threat and making the people of Tarkon safe from it. And so Verlo seems to have made some of the same connections that you all have and have had confirmed in some ways. And the part of the journal that you're on now does seem to go into a lot of hypothesizing of where they both came from. Did they both come from the same place, or was it just coincidence, causation versus correlation? And he seems to have many questions and not a lot of answers as to where the Shiners came from. They didn't seem to exist before. Were they just hiding somewhere, or are they from a different place? And the same with arcane magic. Like, where did this power suddenly come from? and comes back to Karis Balda and how was she able to discover the use of magic?
So, as we've kind of started to learn more about the rifts and in deciphering this journal, does it seem like Verlo is ignorant of the use of the rifts in generating the power of arcane magic?
Absolutely.
Okay, he does not know this. He's doing independent research into this secret that has been...
Like he was starting to, it seems like he was starting to hypothesize the correct.
Okay.
And as the first wizard had told you, that knowledge of where arcane magic comes from, only the High Magisters, some of the other Magisters are aware of it. The High King and the High Princes are aware of it because it's part of their leadership responsibilities is to deal with that. So yeah, again, it is a highly classified state secret. The fact that you all know it is abnormal.
And it seems...
So even a mage like Verlo, you
Right.
would guess like Clegus has no idea of it either. From what you've gathered, all the mages that reside in the academy and work daily there have no idea what's beneath them.
And what's the, like what was I taught about where magic comes from?
It's a mystery. It's one of the greatest mysteries. And it's, there's not a specific, like, classes or education as to where it came from. It's mostly just taught that, like, it's a gift and a responsibility to wield it. And that's pretty much where they leave it at. And so Verlo, diving in, and there have been other researchers, scholars, mages that have looked into it.
They disappeared.
Not that you know of. But they also didn't come to any kind of solid conclusions. It seems like Verlo seemed to have been on the right track before his unfortunate ending.
It's not one sure.
But yeah, it's kind of slow progress decoding this research journal, and a lot of it is very dry, citing sources and stating of facts and variables. And so, as far as you've gotten now in his journal, it's kind of just confirming the things that you've been able to figure out and learn from others through your own deeds as well. Pretty well.
Knowledge is mastery.
Knowledge is mastery. You, with the high roll, you kind of start making some better progress than you had. The cipher is starting to come a little bit more, like it's less of having to write things out, and it's more like you can almost just start to read it, although slowly. And you do catch the end of what you get through the night tonight. Verlo hypothesizing that the first wizard did more than just kind of discover how to use arcane magic. He has theories, educated guesses that the first wizard was responsible for arcane magic appearing in the world.
Did you firmly believe in his theory?
With all of that knowledge and your preparations as you all cozy up here in Ob, despite some of you putting in an effort for certain dreams, your dreams are somewhat disconcerting. Not all of them. You don't remember all of them. But you find yourselves kind of tossing and turning a little bit and unexpectedly woken a few times through the night from the nature of these dreams. Each of you has dreams that kind of, not mechanically, but narratively, drain you of hope, of leaving you feeling that it's a lost cause. It, whatever that it is for you, is a lost cause. It is hopeless. Filled with these feelings of kind of despair. What are those dreams for each of you?
I think for me, what comes to mind immediately is now that I have my brother back, he's never going to be able to hang out with my friends or really be a part of my life because the positions that we're in are so secret. We can't, I couldn't have a family and have him be the fun uncle because people can't know who he is. And that makes me really sad that I fought so hard to find him back, to get him back, to find I'll never actually have him be my brother except to maybe secret meetings.
Anybody else?
I dream of fleeing Myr'ahti as a child, but instead of the horse nomads attacking the city, it's shiners tower over me. The way that something scary towers over a child. And then I'm in the Free Cities Quarter and Sanctuary, and the shiners are attacking, and I'm in the academy, and the shiners are attacking, just every place that I felt safe. The shiners are there.
Overwhelming.
Yes.
Do I get to see the shiners fall into nets though? I tried
You
so
don't-
hard.
You do, you don't remember it.
So sad.
Suni, Mogar, what dreams fill you with despair?
So I'm just traveling through the desert to where the rift is, but instead we end up at my home village, Vanna, which is near Gatru, which is the city that we would go to frequently. That's where I studied magic. It's where I learned to write. We go between the two, but that was where she grew up. Was Vanna and Gatru, and just
Vanna?
Vanna. And getting there, it's this little oasis village, and it's just not finding anyone there. So not finding family, parents, uncles, and no one's there, and then going to Gatru and no one's there, trying to use the stones, and Bastion's not there, and there's just this overwhelming reality of no, we have to use one of these books, we have to get out, this whole entire world is fucked. And then it's just an endless library of all these different books, but none of the books are working right, or they're just going to the wrong places, and trying to figure out where her family might be, and trying to find anyone she knows or cares about, and even then you guys you just can't find anyone, can't reach anyone.
That kind of vibe of this vacated and hollow city spreading out to encompass the world. The only one left. Nice. Mogar, what kind of dreams fill Mogar with despair
So I'm underwater, and it seemed really dark, and a bunch of figures swimming around. And you look up towards the light, and I start swimming, trying to grasp onto air. And the more I fight to go up, the further down I seem to be pulled, until I can't breathe no more. And I start sinking lower. And then I wake up in a sweat. Because it's so warm. These rocks! No wonder I thought I was drowning. I figure it must be linked, so I just kind of like shrug it off, but it eats at me for a while.
And you have other dreams as well, Mogar, of finding the caravan, and it's been ravaged. Wagons and carts crippled and destroyed. Bodies of members of your clan, bodies of your family, parts, blood. The idea of finding them again, being reunited with them again, dwindles in your heart as these images pass in front of you. Each of you troubled by these dreams that drain the hope from within you, filling you with this sense of imminent doom, unavoidable. Leaves you mechanically rested in the morning, but perhaps not as a character feeling too rested and ready to take on the day. And as you finally fully wake from these dreams, a new day upon you. Let's take a break there and come back in a few minutes. We'll be back in a few. For all of you out there in audience land, thank you for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you back here in just a few minutes. We'll see you then. And we are back with Filled with Hope, ready to go on another adventure into the Myr'ahti desert. You all have risen from your long rest. Feelings of hopelessness settling in despite your determination to complete this mission. And a fresh day is upon you. What would you all like to do?
Get out of
Can
here.
I see, are we like actively displaying that we don't really feel our best?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Just less eye contact.
Mogar wakes up screaming.
Where am I?
So, I don't feel so great here. Or, I did not have good quality sleep. And it seems like perhaps I am being presumptuous, but y'all look kind of shitty.
That's so
Normally
sweet.
I would take offense at that, but also I feel kind of shitty.
Yeah.
You also, Seth?
It was just feeling the way that I feel and seeing you. That reminded me of Briarwood.
The anger, but this time is like hopelessness.
Yes. In the defender that we talked to earlier seemed despondent.
The guard captain.
I assumed it was just, the state of things, but this city provides for its people even still. There's plenty of food, water, safety, and yet so many people left. Now waking up today feeling like this is so heavy, and it has only gotten heavier. I wonder if perhaps there is more emotional manipulation afoot. But we are not as close to a rift as we were in Briarwood.
Even in Briarwood, as soon as we entered, We are starting to see villagers who are affected by the anger even when we are many days travel from a rift. So perhaps you are right. I don't remember, just in the Briarwood, did we have a sensation that the feelings we were feeling were like not what we would be feeling if we weren't there? Like, do we have a feeling they might be coming from outside, or is that only because we were told that they would recruit from outside? Were we able to identify like a sort of emotional tone that was different?
I asked that way back then, and it was like, no, it was coming from within us. Like
At this
our
point,
feelings.
I've probably asked that every time Josh just described a feeling that we're all having.
Like, it's just something within us.
He wasn't really excited after winning the champions battle. Does that seem like a feeling that's being imposed on us?
It is hard to peg down like these feelings, these emotions are coming from within you. They are yours. But I would say at this point, especially talking about it amongst yourselves, having at least 2 separate occasions, you can definitely, I won't say you can definitely, but if you choose to, I would say your characters could kind of feel that certain flames were being fanned more than others.
It's a little bit hard to tell, but I feel like certain flames are being fanned more than others.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the happiest person in the world, but it just feels like more sadness than I'm used to ever feeling. I don't know if it's just down here or if it's Myr'ahti.
No.
I mean, this is a sad place, though. I mean, look, it's like nearly deserted, and the dreams I had last night, it just makes sense. You know, they all just kind of like.
I also had the dreams that were hopeless, overwhelming.
Yeah, that's kind of. I think that's how I describe mine too. Mogar, how do you feel?
I didn't even say anything yet.
I literally just quiet, like.
I feel just it's way over my head. I don't know. Everything's moving so fast, and it's just hard to take it all in. I like everything with the shiners, your books. It's all new to me. I just having trouble processing
I mean, that's true. This is all new for me. I mean, maybe all of these new things, maybe traveling in the book is what brought the sadness.
But
I mean, it was a happy place, but maybe that's the price. I don't know.
Maybe have it snuggle your face some more.
wait,
Come here, Tiny.
what? You are my book.
Yeah, which one?
Cowl book.
Oh, that is
The
that
children's
is a
book?
library. We did not take.
You are have any book that you can travel into?
We do have this one. It is not totally finished, but it does work in small capacity.
Because if it is other world,
Yes,
no rift, no shiners.
this is true.
We go to other world.
Mhm.
We look into our heart. We are see. Despair continues. Despair is gone.
It might be back to normal.
Normal level of despair, sure.
I don't know. I really like to think that I'm not so.
We could.
Is only theory and potential to test.
I have only really fleshed out small area general things, but we could Take a peek, I suppose.
Be safe. We can come back here.
Yes, you still have books from library, and I have mine.
Yeah, of course. It's very different.
Yes. Yes, we can do that.
I don't know. I kind of really hope that that's not it. I mean, I don't know.
Yesterday we had progress.
Yeah. Can we be that easily persuaded by something we don't even see?
Yes.
It
Well,
has
you
happened
can
before.
go to a comedian, right? Make you laugh and smile. You can go listen to music.
Yeah, but I can see them.
Well,
I've seen them.
alright. Then musician hiding behind corner.
All of this has happened to us before. Mogar, this is first time, but you were in Briarwood.
Yeah.
You felt rage, anger. It was
Yeah.
not, it was inside you, but was not come from you.
Those notes said that there was like part of a network. Like a mushroom network.
Well, but also he was Mushroom Man. That
So-
is perhaps the way that he experienced it.
This is good theory to test at least if it
Yeah.
stays with us or not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like worth a shot. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. I open the book up. And we all get close to like see. What is the world called? Your Saturday game?
A Saturday game? Saturday we're playing Xandria.
Then it's a form of that. It's like, I have to change the name because we're on stream. But it's that world in that city. with
Very
that
nice.
party.
General details. The most developed city in the city. Starting to read the words that Sumi has written in this book begins to describe a world beginning to thrive after a cataclysmic event. A world where the gods have removed themselves. And specifically in a city, a capital city, in some ways similar to Sanctuary, but in some ways very different. A city on the coast that starts to describe the call of the gulls overhead. You can smell the salty air coming in from the breeze as it kind of pulses with the tide. You start to hear the waves lapping against the shore, and eventually see, first in your mind's eye, this large city with a central district up on a hill with a number of palaces and government buildings atop it, nestled up against this coastline where ships coming to port. And as you're reading, that vision in your mind's eye becomes more and more real and starts to resolve into a reality, and the world of Myr'ahti fades away. Suddenly find ourselves on these bustling city streets, merchants crying their wares, and people, carriages, horses hustling about on the city streets around you.
I was so close to making it here.
The feeling of hopelessness and despair don't immediately leave. It's like the fire's been stoked high enough, it doesn't just snuff out. It's still there. If you stayed here, you don't know what would happen, but at least immediately you still feel that same feeling.
I can't tell if they're just really sad or they're just sad. I mean, emotions don't immediately change.
I don't know, I just feel sad and now really disconnected. But
I also am disappointed. But something is different here.
Oh yeah, completely different world.
That is not what I mean. You are not.
this is a really cool book though. World? I mean, what would I call it? Is this a world? Or a book?
Yeah.
You created this?
Well, that is matter of much debate on whether we create the worlds or whether we are connecting to them, and as the book fills out we get more clarity.
But you are describe all this?
Not leave the city at the moment, but
As you start looking around and taking in all the sights, you can see the walls of the city not too far beyond, and looking beyond the walls towards the horizon, it's strange. It almost starts to blur, kind of going from a realism to watercolor. And details start to become a little bit fuzzier and just kind of fading into a fog on the distance.
Kind of feels like a dream here.
yeah, there's the philosophy that we are connecting to the world. We're not totally in tune yet, so they can go out and go all sorts of places. The whole entire world to them is probably real, but to us we're not like that. Or I am making the world as I came on. You can say.
I try to prestidigitation the color of a doorknob on a nearby house just to change the tone.
The color shifts.
We put magic here. I can use.
There is magic here. There is also gods, god magic, thinkers making things, little mechanical things. It's
But-
very similar to our world. I did not deviate too much. I do have other ideas, but this one needs to get finished first.
Your world building, your imagination is profound.
It is conservative. There are so many similarities to our world. I want to try to make a world without gods. And see what happens without magic. What would happen?
If you're the person who's writing this world, when you talk to the people, do they know who you are? You're just another person here.
There are also Tari here in the Dracoma and
Will. Teboxy. Dragonborn.
okay.
Huh.
Hmm.
Interesting. Just different names.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. I feel the same as I did before we came.
Perhaps.
It's kind of peaceful. I feel a little bit better just knowing that I'm in a place that is relatively safe for the moment. More alive.
There is maybe perhaps we just get the breakfast and then go back. There is vendor over there selling meat pies.
More nice. Let's go.
Always.
Meat pies! Get your meat pies!
I don't know why always first vendor you see in city is selling meat pies, but his rule I did not make up.
It's out of cart and we do not know how they are made.
Is street meat pie.
I pass.
Empanada.
Prestidigitation, you know, sanitization.
get some meat pies. Handing over the coin, the vendor looks at them skeptically. So you're kind of testing the weight and bites between his teeth. Like, where are these from?
Land far away from here. If you cannot tell or this one's accent is a little different, this accent is different, we are from a different place.
Okay, but it still is good coin.
It is gold.
I guess so. I mean, without having to scale to weigh them, I mean,
Okay, do you have a, you both use magic, do you need any little thing fixed for free we throw in?
could you fix this hole and kind of lifts his pants up where you can see the knees being kind of worn through.
You can even do it without a needle.
Okay. Stashes the coins away and hands fresh, steaming hot meat pies to all of you. You have to kind of like toss it between your hands, let it cool off a little bit. before eating
Okay,
it.
all right, that's nice.
Just like take another 10 minutes to eat some meat pies.
Yeah, on the docks.
Eat the meat pies.
Mm.
The world does seem very similar to your own world and familiar to you, although you don't recognize the birds you can see flying about. The color of the ocean seems a little bit shifted in hue than to oceans that you might have seen. And the accents of the people kind of speaking as they're walking past and sitting on the benches nearby. You can understand what they're saying, but definitely the language almost sounds strange on their tongue, although it seems to be their native language to you. So the world is similar, but slight variations and differences. Over the next few minutes as you enjoy your piping hot meat pies, the emotions don't seem to subside any further in you.
Well,
I would say no relief from the despair.
Nothing that you really notice. But again, it's kind of,
hard to tell.
the flame has been stoked, the fire is roaring, and it doesn't just immediately subside. You spent hours, days, weeks here, it would slowly die down, but at this moment that fire is a conflagration.
It's like a dad with a depression on our head.
Okay.
Maybe if we do something, all right, if we're gonna give this a real shot, we should give it a shot, right? If we're under some kind of influence back in Myr'ahti, then if we did the normal things that we do to make ourselves like feel happier or more hopeful, it probably wouldn't work, but it should work here if we're not under some influence.
Should we go find a musician? I always feel better when I listen to music.
Yeah? A little morning party?
Although I think didn't intend to take too much time here.
No.
No. Okay.
I do not feel hopeful still, but I do love a good science experiment. Maybe we could find something, or at least dedicate some time to finding something that will work and then go back.
I know that always in academy you have morning mantra. This is probably not very
No.
comforting for anyone else.
If it's
That made
comforting for
feel
you.
happy.
Yeah. This is to do the same thing every morning.
Or the stability of it, not the mantra itself?
It's both. These words of reassurance, or not exactly reassurance, but these two chant about purpose and value of study and order and
Good enough, smart enough. Gosh darn it, people like
he's not exactly how you say affirmation, he's more like creed.
Well, I'm not really in the mood for that.
He's my rifle, there are many like it, that kind of thing.
I'd be willing to listen to you doing that, but
He's okay, he's mostly, I do not think it will lift anyone else's spirits.
but you
Will
know
lift
that
mine.
that always lifts your spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that seems like a good way to test this theory. Don't know, do we have anything else? Just work out the pocket. 2, 3.
I don't know. Music would be nice. I like to think of my friends, my family, the connections that I've made, you know? You guys give me hope.
not as much as Jack's, but
I mean,
We are give hope in like a narrative way, which is not quite as nice as in a mechanical way.
Alright, let us start walking while leaving Chance mantra. Maybe we can find a good bookstore. Let us check bookstores. Smell.
Perhaps we will try, I don't know, 1/2 of an hour or...
Okay. And then we go whether or not we feel like shit.
We are all...
that's good. We should put a time limit on this because we could just keep finding more things to do here. This place is kind of cool, but we should get back.
This is like sleeping in.
And I just kind of drop a little bit behind, also because I walk slowly, but and I'm mostly chanting under my breath, but what you hear is sort of like the world can be understood through study. The world can be understood through study. The world can be understood through study. Great effort brings great rewards. Great effort brings great rewards. Great effort brings great rewards. Sorry, I should be stage whispering here, right? And knowledge is mastery, where there is power. Effort is reward. Knowledge is mastery, where there is power. Effort is reward. Knowledge is mastery, where there is power. Effort is reward. And I didn't see that for 5 minutes.
By the end of it, I start trying to join you with it, but I'm like, knowledge is reward, power is mastery. I'm just, I'm messing it up.
I stop for like just half a second and like.
It's not helping?
You can.
Okay.
It's okay.
over the next half hour, as you wander the streets of this foreign city, soon you find a little shop, a scrivener's trove. As you go in, the many books on display here, the smell of the parchment and paper, the ink within hitting your nose. Tulok, you hear the sound of music drifting down the streets. You kind of follow it along as well, finding a little tavern that looks to be reasonably crowded given the hour of the day. And you can see up on stage a small band. Looks to be a feathery bird person and a woman with flaming hair, elf who sings and dances with as the grace of only elves can, and this dark-haired beauty of a woman kind of dancing
Sinuously
seductively,
swaying.
dancing seductively with a sinuous sway up on the stage. As they're singing a song, you hear the crowd kind of singing along with the "Heart for Justice." Each of you finding these moments through meditation or trance, through familiar sights, sounds, smells, losing yourself in the music. To kind of continue with the metaphor, you start to feed fuel to another fire, and you can feel that one. You can feel the emotions of despair are still there, but other more positive and hopeful emotions also starting to rise up in you.
Start half-heartedly dancing.
A little chuckle.
A little something. Some like boring hustle.
Like half
Hard for justice! Okay. I can't do this.
some sort of half-ass two-step.
Yeah. I'm here. This is working. It's gonna work. I feel like it's working.
As you go about in your different ways of trying to find hope again, you can feel time slipping by here in this other world.
Into the future?
And
Does it just keep on slipping? Yeah.
The thought and idea of the dangers still present in your own world start to weigh a little more heavily on you as each moment passes by.
I think we still have emotional regulation.
I would gladly spend a few more days here, but we cannot.
No.
But this seems at least partially convincing.
Yes. I still feel pretty bad, but I can tell that it is not like
It's not forever.
trapped. I'm not trapped yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is good to know. It did take a while for the anger to fully lift when I left forever.
That is true. But if we are know that this is partly effective rape, then perhaps that will help us ward ourselves and inspire others.
Did any of you feel any weird feelings when we were there at Sanctuary? There was much going on in lots of them.
Sanctuary?
Yes, well there was a rift there too.
It is.
It is stabilized so I felt different emotions, but
I wanted to smash Glaucus's fucking teeth in, but that is not all too unfamiliar of emotion.
yeah, yes, it is hard to pinpoint any one moment as odd. I did not think of it at the time, but
What you were feeling.
different emotions. I felt very sure of myself at one time. That it was like I was in the right place at the right time for our silly little challenge to get into basement. I still feel like we should not have hurt it, whatever. And then it swung the other way where I felt like, no, maybe I am not the right person, and this is all fucking crazy. And that was right when we were doing challenge. But I just thought, you know, emotions do crazy things. We were under a lot of pressure. There was many mysteries afoot.
High stress, high risk, high reward.
And I did not notice everyone feeling sort of maybe similarly, like now.
Yeah, I don't feel like I recall any one strong emotion in Sanctuary.
I wanted to win. Of course.
It's something to keep track of, especially if we're getting closer to the Myr'ahti rift.
And if now that we are know that strong emotions, perhaps
come with rifts, but they are not always same ones. And we are to keep eye out.
Okay, so we gotta watch each other, right?
Do I just stay in some sort of happy mindset?
It was good that you were
But
say
not too
something this
happy.
morning.
Yeah.
I really kind of wanted to not, but. But
I don't know if you don't want to get out of bed, but
yes. Knowledge is power.
effort is reward.
And then,
Actually, knowledge is mastery. Order is power. Effort is reward.
I stick with my mantra. Knowledge.
Whatever you like. We are in your world.
damn my good looks.
Alright.
Okay. Well, thank you for inviting us to your world. This is a beautiful place.
Now, we'll huddle around my book so we actually end up back in a room rather than you guys in the library. Too much work.
That. Let us all read over your book.
Taking out your own book of return for you to read, you all start reading through the words here, words that begin to describe your own world, the world that you had come from, and much quicker, as it is a world you are intrinsically more connected to and aware of, and is more real to you, that world begins to appear in your mind's eye, and that shift happens where the realities switch. And you find yourselves in a long hallway, large, intricate stained glass at the end of the hall, with a number of doors along either side. You recognize the hallway that was outside of the residence that you had taken a night's rest in. You can see further down the hall, outside of the door of the place that you all had been staying, a pair of the Myr'ahti guard kind of hanging out there, and you can see there's a few packs and water skins that are gathered up there next to them, and they've all kind of looked down towards where you are, seeing your appearance there. Your head on down towards you, and one of them just says, you traveled to another one?
The one I am working on, yes, we were trying to test out. You both have been feeling generally hopeless lately, like more so than usual. A very strange question to be asking, right? Because you look at this city and the general state of affairs, but do you feel like nothing can really bring joy? Do you feel like there is depression?
Yeah, still finding joy occasionally when we have a moment, but this is certainly dire circumstances, as we are in. Our homeland is getting destroyed. Our friends and family, the lucky ones, have left. The unlucky have fallen. Sure, but for how much longer?
Not close to the depository of the wrongs. That is
The elder had some supplies delivered for him.
Thank you.
You go back in to the room that you had vacated through a book. You gather the last of your things as well as the supplies provided to you by the Myr'ahti here. What would you like to do?
Get out of here.
Can't get out the city, right?
Sad here.
You head back to the lift that had brought you down to the subterranean environment environment. You see that pair of guards does kind of follow, keeping an eye on you from a distance as they had all of yesterday as well. But they're not intrusive, and they're, like I said, keeping kind of a distance.
Not all about them.
Giving you your space, but always keeping an eye on these outsiders. Traveling down these tall, narrow lanes, the stones at your feet, many of them in various shades and mineral compositions, and all polished so that the kind of cobblestone that makes up the roadway itself even starts to look like a stained glass window as well, reflecting and refracting the lights from the glowing crystals and fungi that grow around here. You head towards the lift that had brought you in.
Bringing Tiny.
Oh, I thought about this. And I'm still so torn. I wanted to leave Tiny, but I am so sad right now. I just can't let her go. She's coming. I'm bringing my cowl.
You can see a bit of a gathering starts to form and kind of following and watching you as you leave, as word has likely spread about what your mission here is and what you're setting out to do. Only like, excuse me, a dozen or so Myr'ahti that are kind of coming and watching, kind of hushed whispers to themselves and pointing over in your direction a little bit. But you eventually reach the same lift that had brought you down to this level. The guards kind of stop as you all enter onto the lift. Soon he goes over and activates it and start to rise up.
Right.
Quickly shutting off your view of this underground city that is Lower Oak, and bringing you up through the bedrock and sandstone towards the desert floor above you. As it finally comes to a stop, kind of coming up above ground level once again, you see the same empty room that you had been in before, a number of kind of thick rugs covering the floor and pillows strewn about in a kind of haphazard circle. Some tables and settings off to the side with a little bit of drinks and glasses on the trays, but much of it also kind of strewn and scattered about on the floor. This place was also, looks like a hasty retreat was given here as well. And immediately, less immediately, you feel that shift as the heat starts to rise as you come up towards the surface.
It's getting hot in here.
But immediately,
We take off all our clothes.
as for those of you that do sweat, which actually probably none of you, a cat, a bull, a turtle, and a dragon. Whatever way your body regulates.
Shannon and Mogar sweats.
Whatever way your body thermoregulates starts to do. What is immediate as you rise up onto the surface outside of the structure that you were in, you can hear this kind of low bass rumbling, as well as a deep cavernous breath, almost like a wind outside rather than something breathing. But you can hear it kind of sound coming from outside, combined with this low kind of rumbling sound as well.
Wait, we're gonna be
He's
stuck.
sniffing.
Do you think you can bust in the door? Probably.
My hand still hovers.
This kind of huffing sound continues, snuffing and huffing, as well as this deep rumbling, almost like sub-bass frequency. You can almost feel it more than you can hear it. Of this, what you're starting to realize is the dragon's kind of rumbling growl. And Yvain, you actually don't just hear a rumbling growl, you hear words spoken in the tongue of dragons.
What are they?
Recognize that they are words. What the words are is yet to be seen.
Let me know if you need some reassurance to not fuck things up.
Sure. Solidarity forever.
Yeah.
It's a dragon. I'm a dracona.
Yeah, bro.
Solidarity. Yeah. Dirty 20 with hope.
Yeah, we got hope.
Take a hope.
It's not so disparagingly sad.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Hold out at the end.
Yeah.
That's when you're supposed to pull out.
Ideally. Maybe a little before.
Yeah, true.
The huffing and sniffing among these deep bass rumblings, the guttural growling of the dragon. Yvain, you do recognize the tongue of the dragon and think back trying to translate what it seems to be saying. Much too late.
Very ominous though.
And you do start to recognize what this deep voice is rumbling about. And you can hear it almost, what you assume is just kind of speaking to itself. And you can hear it. I smell them. Intruders sneaking by while I sleep. Chased from my home by endless beings from beyond, unable to defend myself despite how many I've killed. And now, the soft scales sneak past me while I sleep. What have I become? Dare I call myself a great and powerful dragon still? These atrocities should befall me. What will I do? But lie here, waiting for the end. I am fit no more, unless I can reclaim my power. I must find them. I must search them out and prove I am still great and powerful. And it kind of continues on this in this monologue.
I almost like sotto voce to everybody.
Oh, is he sad like sad or is it like
Stage whisper, please.
Sad, despair. You throw probably both. Sad like despair, but feeling of insecurity.
Can you share his words? What he said?
He has been chased from his home. He has been chased from his home by beings from beyond. The Shiners.
Oh.
And now we are humiliating him by sneaking past him. He wants to feel like, you know how we all did things to feel better in other world?
Yeah.
His thing is, eating us.
What if his thing was treasure?
Why eating us?
Because we are humiliated.
How?
Because we were so sneaky.
But
I whisper.
if he were to eat us or not even to eat us, who would know?
He would know.
He smelled us when he woke up?
He is his own worst enemy then.
He came in through the window last night.
Being hysterical. Oh. So what is backup plan? Are we going to feed on his insecurities and try to crush him emotionally? Or are we going to try to bat him if he finds us? What is our angle there?
I was going to try to talk to him.
So emotionally crushing him? Or talk to him like, hey buddy,
Same thing.
same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, because we are going after
We
Shine.
are want to, help him get his home back.
Oh.
We are wanting to help him get his home back. So we praise Dragon, we think he's so great. We feed ego and also say we're going to help him get home back because we're going to find out where Shiners come from. So that he knows where to defeat a macho dragon lands.
Exactly.
These people. We can't solve problem for him because then that makes him kind of weak. But
We would
can
love
help
that.
help him.
We will offer our meager services.
Okay, hopefully we do not be found. Is he still right at the
Well,
door?
I would not maybe all go out at once.
You go first. You look like dragon most.
Exactly.
Okay, but I got your back.
Yeah, you go second. You look second like dragon.
You are all staying.
I'll just be right by the door.
The dragon
Yeah, we'll be
knows
right
now.
here. Team mammal.
Team warm bloods.
I take a very deep breath
Tiny, stay here.
and I inch just a little bit that way, and I say in Draconic, I guess? What do we think the language is called? Do we know? Dragonish?
It's the tongue of dragons.
In the tongue of dragons.
Got this accent goes.
Oh jeez. That's what I say. Okay.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete.
Yeah.
Like very small dragon.
You have okay. Okay. You have found us at a despot, of course. But please, if you would be so merciful as to let us introduce ourselves before you are roast us and eat us. That would be most kind and gracious.
We know why you're sad.
Why are you teeing him up for him to
As you call out from this building,
He just fucking fire breaths it all.
Pit the liver.
Oh, Team Mammal back here.
You're doing great.
I don't know what he's saying, but I think it's going goodly.
as you call out from, and you are just behind the doors shouting,
Yeah, pretty much.
Closed doorway.
Pretty much. Like, you know, not even that far. I don't want to be. I wouldn't get off the lift.
As you call out, making your presence known, you immediately
Just kidding. That wasn't
So
funny.
now he's gonna know what door we're behind.
You immediately hear the searching sniffing of the dragon cease. And thundering footsteps that rattle the building around you seem to draw closer. I am not going to say that you need to fight the dragon, but I am going to enter into action mode. As the dragon itself is eager for a fight, and so is acting of that accord. That being said, with it aware of a creature in this building,
Oh boy.
I am going to spend a fear to interrupt all of you.
It's not looking good for Team
I am going to spend a fear
Sneak always first.
to unlock its apocalyptic thrashing,
Oh,
That sounds safe.
wow.
which
Okay.
starts at a 12.
Tell him you know why you're scared.
So that was a fear to do that. And I will spend the last fear to get 2 action tokens.
Fish are friends, not food.
Not the rain.
You're not a fish.
I'm not rent.
You might be food.
That could be.
And he uses the arid despot, uses his last 2 actions to destroy the building that you are inside.
That's not very cool.
Rude.
Where with the whole hand on the lever?
The lift is not that fast. The roof comes crashing down upon you.
Do you have a reaction? Can you like just Superman this building with a magic hand? Is that a thing?
And I do feel like my reflexive reaction though would have been pulling the lever.
Everybody please make a strength or agility reaction roll.
Okay. Oh, I meant to say protector, but I think I'll be okay. Because I didn't say it up first. I thought it, but I didn't say it. Can I say that I used a hope for protector? I just never used my experiences. It's okay. I don't have to. I know. I should have said it.
Would you?
13.
This
It's not my best roll. Do I have any reroll things?
Bogart?
14.
It's a fail. Tulok?
I mean, am I finding a safe place to hide? Because I have advantage on that.
There's nowhere to hide right now.
Well, maybe
You
there's.
took away
You're
the
trying to dodge and hide away from the rubble that's coming crashing down upon you.
Yeah, add a d6.
So yes, it's my Slyborn thing.
Sure.
You have advantage on any rolls where you're negotiating with criminals, detecting lies, or finding a safe place to hide. Okay, great.
What do you got?
16 with my advantage.
Fail.
I'm so glad.
6.
Fail.
Okay.
Success.
Okay. Okay.
You're the one who was talking to him, so.
He didn't care about anybody else.
He was aiming for the lift.
All right. Those of you that failed take 13 physical damage.
Oof.
And
Okay.
become restrained under the rubble.
Oh, that's fun.
Yvain, you take 6.
Okay.
Of course, you can use armor should you desire to reduce this damage.
Is there anybody next to me that needs me to take theirs?
I might be okay. How much is it?
13 physical.
Thank you.
Wait.
I
You said it was 16 then,
I
right?
can.
13.
13.
I can
Okay.
take this time. It's alright. I'm not happy about it.
I would like to continue trying to talk to this dragon.
Okay.
Maybe lead with how
Yeah,
you can
you
help.
see, so all of you can see, to continue the narration as I stop to do the mechanic stuff. The building around you, you see these massive scaled claws just come crashing through the walls and ceiling. The building around collapses in a pile of rubble upon you, nearly obliterating it from the landscape in front of you and revealing this massive winged dragon, its long neck bringing its head close to you, each of its teeth nearly the size of the smaller among you, maybe not Mogar's size. As it comes bringing its head over closer towards you, can see the thick muscles under the scales that are kind of this sandy blonde color and texture among them. The spikes and horns on his head, similar in texture and appearance to the kind of stone outcroppings you've seen around the Myr'ahti desert. And as the building collapses in front of you, you can see the Aerodespot just right there, just outside the building, bearing down over all of you.
I pee myself
And
a little.
you can hear, and then you can continue with your action, you can hear him still kind of monologuing almost to himself, and just like, here they are, I can redeem myself, reclaim my glory. And then you may continue.
Yes.
A little more urgently now, I think. I am Yvain Darosla, and we are Hi-jinx by Jax, and we are here to fight the despair and drive the Shiner back into their hole. And we would serve you in reclaiming your home.
Sorry, I'm distracted by making the music play again. But I did hear you.
The dragon pauses for a minute, reaching out to a set of turntables. He drops a sick beat.
Turns up the knob on the dramatically. So
Please
I'm gonna drop it somewhere else.
Please make a excuse me, a presence roll with advantage.
I'm gonna call this one a stick to the mission.
If I am standing by him flipping my hair around, can I help him at all?
I whip my hair back and forth.
You can do whatever you want.
Can I can I help you?
Sure.
I have a question. It was asked when we were
Assuming
at
I'm
the
restrained right
council
next to
that
you.
there would be
So
like
position
some way that we
myself
could
there.
communicate with them.
Yeah, please.
A D6.
like when we got there, if we could like relay the message depending on like what might happen to us.
And I spend a hope for that.
Did we get like a stone or a crystal or any kind of manner of communication like that?
Among the supplies that were gathered for you, you see a familiar scroll case that contains an enchanted scroll that when written on is mirrored on its twin. But it is limited as to how much room is on the scroll itself. As you take this action, putting an action on the action toker, it calls
Sorry, the action toker?
the action tracker, token tracker. The apocalyptic
That's a
thrashing
toker.
countdown goes down to 11.
Okay.
Is that showing you?
Nope. It's
It
showing
is.
3.
It is. It's hard. You can't really. It's not a 6
It's
item
on
one.
your
Yeah.
side. How about there?
Yeah, it's good.
Sure.
And that is 24 with fear. Your advantage very helpful.
Here.
I was just remember.
That was a
Oh.
pretty good one.
As you say this to the arid despot, and you can see his eyes burning like molten sand in their sockets, and he does roar out rather than this low bass rumbling. He gives out a roar that you understand, but the rest of you just hear is this dragon roaring out. As you hear it, "You dare bring up my shame to my face!" Ah! It was a success. I don't want to discourage you entirely, but it is. This is multiple stages of wearing down this dragon's fury.
Mhm.
I'd like to try to presence it next.
Yeah. Okay.
And with action coming back to me on a roll with fear, I will use that action and that fear as he roars out, and he kind of takes a couple steps closer. His wings flare out and beat down, and sand and dust blow over all of you. The dust settling from the rubble all gets stirred up once again as he summons a sandy cloud that surrounds an area within far range. Any actions involving perception are at disadvantage. Probably not going to matter too much at this moment, but just so you know. What is going to matter is that any creature taking an action within this cloud adds 2 tokens to the tracker rather than 1.
That includes obviously these speaking actions that we're taking in this what has become sort of a social encounter.
A combat social encounter.
Yeah, a quasi-social encounter.
A combo encounter. A sociopath?
A social bat. A social bat.
But I've used all of my action tokens. The action is back on the rest of you.
Okay. I would like to.
Rage.
I'd love to. I would like to shake off some dust from my face, but also realize that as I do that, the only thing that really clears is my teeth, which weren't showing. So I have these like bright, beautiful white teeth. And I shake my hair at him, and I don't know what you guys are saying anymore. I have no idea what's happening. But stop doing this! And I just keep shaking my hair, just really aggressively. I am trying to
Seduce the dragon.
seduce a dragon.
It always comes back to seduction.
Yeah.
You can attempt to dissuade the dragon from continuing its assault, or seduce it, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
Taking an action in the cloud adds 2 tokens to the action tracker.
Okay.
Can I
Every time a token.
I'd love it if you helped.
is added to the action tracker, the apocalyptic thrashing ticks down, ticking it down by 2.
Oh, great, because it's 2 actions now.
Yeah.
Up
To 9?
Yeah, 9. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
so
fine.
Yep.
that's better.
That's it.
Thank you.
I see you doing that. And I see what you're trying to do. And I'm looking at the dragon and I'm looking at you. And I go, okay, follow me. And I do movements that, so I know of, it's kind of like cults in Myr'ahti.
Okay.
Of like dragon worshippers. They go to the Eric Death spot back in the day, because now it's weird. But they would bring him gifts, they would worship him and be his little loyal followers. And they had like a certain way of dressing that we're currently lacking, but they had like these movements and stuff that they would do. So I'm just helping with that.
Excellent.
It's
I
almost-
also think if we're dancing at him, we should throw money at him too. That's persuasive. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Just coming at him with all the seductive persuasion we can.
So
He's a dragon. He likes money, right?
And he does like gifts. So I show you like the movement, and then like if you want to like
Yeah.
give him gold, sure.
I
Yes.
assume you're trying to help.
Yes, this is me helping.
Spend a hope to help.
Okay.
You can roll your presence roll.
Perfect.
You can roll
I
your
have-
d6 to add to it.
I have a +1. I am also spending a hope to use my damn good looks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, you get 6.
Nice.
Um,
Is good.
so that is 13, 15, 21.
Nice. Plus that's
Should
including
we-
your
Wait,
good
wait,
looks.
wait. 13, no. Plus my good looks?
Mhm.
13 plus the presence is 1 is 14. 2 more is 16. Your 6 is 22. Plus 1 more is 23. Because I'm going to try to goad them on.
Go.
Yeah, that's goading. I don't know. Goad them on. Make a presence roll against a target. On a success, the target takes a stress. And the next time they act, they target you with disadvantage.
That sounds like a whole separate action.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I did this. I want to stress him out.
So you're not trying to persuade him, you're trying to goad him.
I think the goading
Well,
thing
it's
is
a presence. I'm stressing him out with my good looks.
Right. Any ability that says make a roll is its own action.
Oh.
So if you are trying to use that ability, that's what you're trying to do. And it should be noted as this is happening that other than Uvain, all of you are buried under rubble. And
Yeah.
so you're like poking a head out,
Look, we
trying
got
to
arms. We
wave
got
your
arms.
hair.
We can do it. We got our arms. The rest of
Yeah.
the hands.
So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to persuade the dragon or are you trying to goad with this ability?
I guess I'm goading with my presence.
That's like if you're goading.
You're
Correct me if I'm
provoking.
wrong. You're trying to get him to attack you,
Yeah, goading
which I
is
feel like is
not.
what we're.
Yeah.
Goading's not the
And
thing.
You do what you wanna
you're
do.
stressing it out, you're making it worse.
Yeah.
I was just thinking being extra nice at a dragon who's attacking us would also stress him out, so it made sense to me. But,
I mean,
I can see where you were coming from.
We're showing kind of like a respect or desire to be liked by him by doing it.
What you were describing felt a little bit different than goading him.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, I can actually just cancel this whole action.
No, the roll was good.
No, the roll was good. We should go with persuasion.
Yeah,
and
that was
see what
good.
happens.
Okay,
You
well,
don't
then
just don't need
minus
that.
1 of that, and I'm not goading him. We're
But you
just
are making
not
a presence
stressing
roll.
him. I am making a presence roll, but it gave me a +1
Okay.
to my presence.
You are
So whatever number
basically
I said. 20.
trying to aid Yavin in dissuading this dragon from continuing its assault upon
And
you.
ideally, helping us, which would be a
As the three of you are all buried and pinned under this rubble,
I was just
and you
really
just like get the head out and start pulling the hair around a little bit. Suni trying to show you the moves, but like only one arm is free and the rest is all buried.
We also shout this word and like we shout out like some word that we know of draconic, like this one.
Was that with hope or fear?
It was with hope.
Nice.
Hope.
You took the hope, right?
No. Then I will now.
As the arid despot continues looming over the rest of you, you can feel its hot breath as it's breathing in and out just in front of you. You can see as its mouth is just partially open. If it opened it fully, it could swallow all of you in one bite. As it is just gargantuan in size compared to even the 7'12" frame of Mogar.
If I use my action for presence, can I also use my movement to try to be unrestrained, or is that an action?
That's an action.
Okay. It's an action. That smelled awful.
You, three of you, remain restrained beneath the rubble, the arid despot looming over you. With
Does he feel the unaccountable tinglings of desire as he sees Tulok's magnificent head of hair tossing in the midst of this?
never had a dragon without a snout with hair. No, you do see it though with this continuing attempts at appeasement or dissuading it from attacking, that it seems to actually be processing the words that you had just spoken, or like it had its immediate gut instinctual reaction, and now it seems to be taking in what was actually said to it. In this moment, the action is still on all of you.
I will keep talking unless anyone wants to.
Do you think it's working?
We're still alive.
Okay, make a deal. They like deals. Oh, okay. I don't know a lot of dragons.
A king has no shame, but he may employ agents to work on his behalf, to sniff out the weaknesses of the cowardly invaders who have brought hopelessness to his realm, who will affect his subjects with fear. We would be those agents if you would spare us and send us forth.
Make another presence roll with advantage using the tongue of the dragon. It does add 2 more tokens to the tracker, bringing this down to 7.
I'm gonna figure out a way to make a knowledge roll. But it's okay. Maybe next time.
I'm worried about what happens when I get to 1. I'm sure it's fine. That's future Tulok problems.
Just imagining you hope to these people and I'm like, instant.
Just crashed on their only exit.
They're gonna exit the book now.
25 hope.
Take a hope.
Sounds good.
As you do see in that moment of Tulok kind of distracting it from violence for the moment, in that moment of it starting to process what it is that you're actually saying to it, realizing that you're speaking its language to it. And you being the only one free, you're kind of standing in the middle of all of this rubble, and you can just see bits and pieces of your friends poking out of it, and you're just alone in the middle.
Weird gestures next to you.
I'm just shaking my hair. See what he's doing.
And the dragon's head.
This is weird, restrained rave. Like,
The dragon's long neck brings its head over right in front of you. You feel one of the nostrils as the other one is a good 6 feet away from you as it breathes this hot air over you and then smells it in.
okay.
This massive,
A little more.
massive draconic figure is face to face with you, or face to nostril with you. In this moment, you can see one of these gleaming, burning eyes kind of looking over down towards you as it continues on looming over you. I am subject to no one. All are subjects to me. You offer to be a minion to the arid despot. I smell fear on you, but there is also strength. I have killed many as they came from beyond, but they came on more and more, slowly wearing my defenses, chasing me from my own home. I cannot stand for this. Dragon voice.
He leans over to the side where a bucket of lemon and honey water sits.
I find myself drowning in despair, but I will reclaim what is mine. I will become great and powerful again. You will serve me in this cause. Bow before the arid despot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm trying.
Yep.
I'm trying.
One day right there.
You bow down. You see one of its massive clawed hands comes up, scraping away the rubble. Those of you with strain within see these claws, each one of them taller, longer than you are tall, scrape by before you.
You pee a little too, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
As you are freed from your restrained, the dragon kind of rumbling roars out again. It gives the same command, but you realize your friends don't understand it.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I follow.
Yeah. You know,
As you all remove yourselves from the restraining rubble and kneel down before the arid despot, you see the dragon's form starts to lift its head a little bit. You see its chest starting to puff out some. And Yvain, a bit more focused on other things in the heat of the moment. Not taking in, especially with the size of it, it's hard to kind of get body language when it's like filling your entire view. But now, having a few moments taking it in, you can see the dragon's posture seemed to be a little down and depressed, and you see it now like filling again with pride and confidence. Not fully, but enough. And the arid despot just says, "Yes, you will all serve me well, minions, and we will beat back the ones on and take back my home. And that's what we'll pick up next time. As the era despot seems to be swayed, apocalyptic thrashing taken off of the table.
Okay, but what was gonna happen at one?
You can pick a fight with it and find out.
Jack's one who wanted to
Yes,
go way
yeah,
back.
Jack. Courtney will get you into a fight, don't worry.
Like, just keep trying to seduce it, and you might get some apocalyptic crashing after all.
We will pick up with that next time, wherever you and this dragon want to take things. It's your story to tell. I'm just here to tag along. Those of you out there in audience land, thank you again for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks, off next week, no stream next week. So if you're coming looking for us, sorry, we miss you too. We'll be back at the beginning of the month. Until then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. We'll see you all then. Bye.